This is completely made up, but today is Fujifilm 16mm so on day. This is where it all begins. Right here. Yeah. Ta-da! Fujifilm 16mm 1.4 and the Fujifilm 16mm to 55mm 2.8 now acquired thanks to Calumet in Birmingham. I'm just outside now, and actually let me just show you something that they quickly showed me that's pretty cool. In-store open days invite. I'm going to put that up so you can see it a bit better. Pretty cool. My one is Thursday the 3rd of November, so that's Birmingham, but you've also got Drummond Street, London, Belfast, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Manchester, Bristol, but of course you want to go to Birmingham. Say hi to Adele for us, and let's see, there's a whole lot going on. I'll put that up so you can go and have a look. Now, which one am I going to use first? Well, by the title, you already know, so let's check them out. This is Fujifilm's flagship standard zoom with a constant aperture of f2.8, consisting of 17 elements in 12 groups. That includes 3 aspherical and 3 extra low dispersion elements. Basically, that reduces lateral chromatic aberration in the wide angle and axial chromatic aberration in the telephoto, for those of you into that sort of jargon. More jargon then. Fuji have applied high transmittance electron beam coating and nano GI gradient index to the lens surface to help avoid ghosting and flare. It has a twin linear motor to aid fast focusing, and it works especially well teamed with a body that has phase detection autofocus. The lens then has a focal length of 16 to 55mm, or in a 35mm format equivalent 24 to 84mm. It has an angle of view of 83.2 degrees to 29 degrees. Once again, that maximum aperture, you'll notice 2.8 right up to 22. Features 9 blades, rounded diaphragm opening, and step size of a 3rd EV. There are 19 steps in total. Focus range in normal mode, you're starting off at 0.6 meters, and in macro 30 centimeters. Instead of infinity, you go into 10 meters in wide and from 40 centimeters to 10 meters in telephoto. Now you'll notice there the focus ring doesn't stop. That might be interesting for some of you. The lens has a maximum magnification of 0.16 times in telephoto. Dimensions, the lens is 83.3mm by 106mm in the wide setting, and then 129.5 in the telephoto setting. It weighs roughly, without the caps and the hoods, 655 grams. And finally, it has a filter size of 77. Let's check out some sample shots now and see how I got on. So far, big thumbs up, and I can't really see that going any further backwards. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs until the end of the video, but my thoughts are, obviously the weight is creeping back up now. There's a question in there whether you really want that if you've moved to mirrorless to cut down on weight. The quality, just looking at the back of the screen, it's definitely there. Now, the autofocus, I really like it. It's dead silent, and it's quite fast on the XT1. Can you even hear that? Well, anyway, we'll talk about that again, a bit more detail. Let me use this a bit more and let you know what I think. So far, I'm confident this lens is a winner, and yes, I would use it professionally. Over primes, wait and see what I say at the end. Let's carry on. Is it the best lens for you? If you're after a fast, standard wide to tele zoom on your Fuji X system, then I think it's a no-brainer really. It's very, very well built. It's solid. You can tell that that weather resistance is going to do you proud in a dusty environment. Splashes of rain, perhaps running in between venues. It fits well in the palm of the hand, even though it is a big, hefty lens. Now, that does raise the question that if you've moved to mirrorless to get away from the weight of your DSLR gear, well, you're creeping back up into that territory with this lens. But I think you know that if you're after a professional zoom. So, pros and cons, get out and test it, see if you can deal with the weight. But you can see it fits nicely on the XT1. X Pro 2, being a chunkier body, should see it balance even better. But frankly, it just works well. It handles nicely. It is worth noticing that this doesn't focus as close as some of your primes. A 16mm, for example, focuses closer, and that might be a big deal to you. Also, it's 2.8, so it's not even faster, but photographers have used this range for donkey's years professionally as a nice standard go-to lens. And if I could just have one lens on one body, nothing else, arguably this would be that lens. It's sharp. It renders the colours, the tones, the contrast, all that goodness onto that brilliant sensor. It does it very well. It works well with, in this case, the XT1, and I'm sure with the newer bodies too. Is it value for money? Well, yes, because if you're buying this, generally you're buying it to put it to good use, and you're going to get your money's worth. It's definitely a good investment, for example, for a wedding photographer or a party photographer. There's not a lot else you can say about it, really. It's just a solid workhorse. For me, I think I'm still leaning towards the primes, frankly. I like to have less weight in the hand at each time, because this, you definitely notice it. So I think I'm still going that way. The 16 over this and the 56 over this. But for a one body solution, it's got to be this, really. Surely there's nothing else out there for the Fujifilm that will top this at this range. That's it. Go check it out. If you've got a Calumet near to you, I'm sure you can get hold of one super fast, just as I did. I'm going to put that thing up for the open days, Calumet, so go check that out. And also, Calumet, if you're listening, thanks for letting me use this lens. Thanks for being super fast, and well, thanks for being close. Because obviously you put yourself 20 minutes away from my house on purpose, just for me. Anyway, I think it's time to put this down, as my arm's aching. I'm only kidding. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them to comment if they want to get involved in a conversation. No, I'm talking to the lens. Okay, I'll go. What? No. I can't lend it you. Sorry. I'm not very good at these outro bits, am I?